What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Um, yeah, so this your boy here, and I am, and mm, welcome to another episode of my Hip Hop Review. And so, basically, if you guys had a chance to watch the Fuji's review, despite the fact that bullshit YouTube decided to copyright that shit, I have to push comes to shove, I might have to redo that review some other time. I don't know when, but I'll most likely do that review. Um, I said some shit about I'm gonna start doing like surprise reviews where I'm not gonna reveal the album I'm about to review until after I get the hint. So it'll be like, say it'll be like hip hop review surprise number one. So yeah. So I think like damn, what was the hints again? What was the hints? I said the album I'm about to review introduced one of the hip hop's greatest alliances. The rapper was one of the creators of horrorcore, and many people consider it a psychedelic hip hop album. And so this is the album I'm about to review. Let me play the song. Kool Keith or Dr. Octagon, um, or Dr. Octagon Gynecologist. Yeah, released in 1996 on DreamWorks Records. Yes. This is one album I did not want to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I did not want to fuck up this album. So that's why it took me a while to like really review it. So yeah. So singles I was known for are Earth People, 3000, which is playing in the background, and Blue Flowers. Producers include Dan the Automator, Cutmaster Kurt, and DJ Cuberts. He does scratching in a few songs. Well, majority of the songs, I should say. Now, for those who don't know who Kool Keith is, he's a rapper from Bronx. He got a start when he joined the Ultramagnetic MCs. They formed in 1984. For those who don't know what Ultramagnetic MCs are, they're like very influential hip hop group. Um, Consists of members Set G, TR Love, and Mo Love. Originally, they were a breakdancing crew, but they just started rapping and stuff like that. So they cut out a few singles, and one of the singles that caught their attention was a single called "Ego Tripping," and that was like a big single back like in New York at that time. And a few singles came out then, and then fast forward to 1988, they came out with a classic album, Critical Beatdown, which well, let me just say this. Ultramagnetic MCs, I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I admit, guys were innovated their original, like, and they were just way ahead of the time, like way ahead of the time, and stuff like that. And Critical Beatdown, which was like a landmark album when it came to like the golden age of hip hop, was very innovative due to the fact like it was known for like its out there lyrics, the samples they picked, the rhyme patterns, like it was just so different than what all the other hip hop groups were doing at that time. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some groups that were kind of doing it, but Ultramagnetic MCs, they were like they would add a little something different to it. And I think I forgot to mention too. Give me a minute. I forgot to mention that the song "Ego Trippin'" was actually the first hip hop song that used the synthetic substitution sample, the Melvin Bliss sample. I can't believe I just said it sample, but you guys know that sample. Yeah. So I thought I'd throw that out there. And ever since then, hella niggas been using that shit. Now, fast forward to 1989. Um, they had an affiliate named Tim Dog. Yes, that Tim Dog. Fuck Compton Tim Dog. You know, and so it was also around that time when there were reports that Kool Keith was institutionalized in a mental hospital, but he later said that he kind of made that up and stuff like that. He kind of made that up and stuff like that, you know. So they went on a little hiatus and they came back in 1992 with the album Funk Your Head Up. Now this album was a lot. They got into like more darker themes with this album and Funk Your Head Up. I've not really heard Funk Your Head Up. I had a couple of joints from there, but not the whole thing. Um, Fast forward to 1993. They came out with I think like the next album, which was The Four Horsemen, and that album was very important too because I think that was the first album that was the first time they were working with Godfather Don. And if you guys don't know who Godfather Don is, he's like one of the most slept on MCs and producers. Check out his like Diabolic album 1998. You won't regret it, by the way. I didn't get my hands on that, but that's highly out of print. I think they re-released it, but it still cost a lot of money. And so between that time and 1996, Kool Keith was kind of getting tired of New York, so he wanted like a new scenery. So he moved to L.A. And this interview I read about him, he said that a lot of people will kind of feel like he kind of fell off a little bit, but it wasn't until this album that he got a spark back. So around that time, he hooked up with Dan the Automator, um, and I mean, I'm stripping, Cutmaster Kurt, and they shared an apartment, and they were originally working on Sex Style, his second studio album. But in a few demos, he introduced the character Dr. Octagon, and so Cutmaster Kurt was like, "Yo, I kind of like the theme of Dr. Octagon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should use his theme like more." So they were like, they made a whole album based on that, and they got with Dan the Automator. Hmm, actually, it was Dan the Automator that wanted him to do the album, and they basically did it. But there's actually some controversy behind that because from what I read while researching this album, Cutmaster Kurt and Dan the Automator kind of had a falling out because Kurt was kind of like, "Oh, this was like my idea," and Dan the Automator was taking credit for it, and he felt like he didn't really get the credit he deserved for his album. And and so 1996 they came out with this. Before I start, I just want to say this one thing. Dan the Automator is one of the slept on producers in hip hop. The dude is just so out there with his production. Don't believe me? Check out the Deltron 3030 album. Shit. Yeah, and yeah. Now let me take you. Here's a cover right here, in case you guys can see it. Hold on. Yeah, in case you guys can see it. This is a very dope cover. It reminds me of like them old horror comics you would read from like the 40s or 50s and shit. By the way, the song playing now is Earth People, by the way. Check this shit out. And you have all the credits. So, I read that Dr. Octagon says, "Stay in school, don't do drugs." Yeah, right here. Yeah. Okay. Oh, another thing too. There are actually two versions of this album. Like the first version, the version I have is the DreamWorks edition and stuff like that, and the other version of the album is the Bulk Recordings More Wax edition version. Yeah. So 20 songs. You guys should know what we should do. Track number one, intro. Nice way to start off the album. Kind of lets you know who Dr. Octagon is. Track number two, 3000. Very, very dope song. I love that song. Wow. That bass line just sets the whole tone of the whole song and stuff like that. What I got from that song is like he just says that he's way ahead of all these other MCs, and that to people who actually get his message, let's go to the year 3000 and stuff like that, you know. And I felt that like, yeah, very good way, nice way and stuff like that. Track number three, I gotta tell you, that's actually a skit. And another thing too, this album is filled with dope skits. Hmm, excuse me. This album is very filled with some funny skits, like just like Redman and De La Soul. Like I felt like Kool Keith like did this theme with skits in his albums and stuff like that. Next track is Earth People. Oh, damn. Okay, the skit I gotta tell you is just talk. It's like an answering machine in Dr. Octagon's office and stuff like that. You know, very funny by the way. All right, next song, Earth People. Um, I love that song. It kinda is like what you would expect from Kool Keith, Dr. Octagon, and they had a nice synthesizer with them. I love the fact they used the Moog synthesizer on that shit. And a lot of these songs off this album, he's talking about like some off the wall shit. Like he's talking about like a lot of it's like a lot of sex, like talking about malpractice, you know. Yeah, so basically, yeah, just a fucked up mind of Dr. Octon Kool Keith, as I should say. Next song, No Awareness, which is playing in the background. My favorite song off this whole album. Octagon's flow is nuts, and his wordplay is just so crazy. What I got from that song is like it's talking about like him and his alter ego Sir Malenik is like talking about the trials and tribulations of like the cannibalism and talking about like shit like yeah. And this is some of my favorite lyrics. It's like the organic medical talk propels off my arm with the atom bomb final line of Richie not couch for this battle. I rattle sing 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 like bing 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 ritual chat rabbit grab it lock up pop up watch you jam like Aksher with over energy it's me lyrically bionically your panic beat like damn like who thinks of shit like that low key. Track next song Real Raw. um that's a very underrated song right there. The beat is very crazy on that song, you know. Then the Automator, he did his thing on that beat. General Hospital is the next skit. Probably my favorite skit off this whole album. What I got, he's in like an emergency room, and he's trying to save a patient, and the patient's dying and shit like that. And as soon as he said "fuck it," he's dead. He turns around, and it's like, "Oh shit, there's a horse in the hospital," like, and then it just takes you to Blue Flowers. And actually, I believe Earth People and Blue Flowers were the first songs I've heard from Kool Keith and stuff like that. And I just immediately fell in love with that. I was like, I need to get to hear this album. Now back to Blue Flowers. Um, very trippy song, and like one of the best songs off the whole album, and maybe in Kool Keith's discography. Um, there's a lot of talk conspiracy what Blue Flowers is actually mean. What he means by Blue Flowers. A lot of people think he's talking about drugs. A lot of people think he's talking about like medicine. And I love the Quincy. Ooh, excuse me. Just ate something. I love the Quincy Jones sample he used. A very dope sample. Mm, yeah. Very dope Quincy Jones sample and all that. Some of my favorite lyrics off the song are back. Wait, hold on, not that one. Holding. I see the mascot of evil. He's not Knievel. Shakespeare gone. Don't even think about it. Yes, I'm going to the park. I see blue flowers. It's raining green by the pond. Green flower. Like it's just very trippy song. Like one of like flow wise, like wordplay wise, like it doesn't get no better than this. Um, Next song, technical difficulties. This one of the few songs that Cutmaster Kurt produced, and it's kind of crazy because he only did like two songs off this album, while Dan the Automator just basically produced this whole joint. Pretty solid song, not one of my favorites, but still a dope song. Then we have A Visit to the Gynecologist, which is actually um he impersonates a woman physician and he uses like a very high pitched voice and things of that nature. Very eerie song basically. Then we have Bear Witness. That song was okay, not too crazy about that. Dr. Octagon, that's the next song. Um, Very cool song right there. Very dark. It was kind of like a darkish kind of song and things of that nature. Like I said before, Kool Keith is just killing it. He's just killing it and stuff like that. Yeah. Next song off this album, "Girl Let Me Touch You." Self-explanatory. It's like a sex song, possibly my second favorite song off this album. Um, the way he does this song is very crazy. I love the way he like flows and raps on the song. Like it's kind of like a storytelling song, and it starts off when he is in his clinic, he's on his job, and a girl comes in the room and he says like she thinks she may have caught an STD, or he said you say you got burnt. Your man should have wore rubber. Of course, you guys should know what that means. And he's like, and then to make her feel better, he just wants to fuck her. And then I love the hook is crazy. Like, girl, let me touch you there. I wanna feel you. And then like that piano, like very dope song. And like he's just doing seducing this fucking girl. Like out of all the songs off this whole album, this is like one of the best and actually one of the most disturbing songs too. But it's what you can expect from Kool Keith. Um, I'm Destructive. Oh yes, that's dope. That's a dope song right there. Um, Very crazy song. Like whole vibe of the song is just crazy, and it's like a more upbeat song. And he's kind of like, from what I really got from that, it's kind of a way of like dissing. It's like a braggadocio, but it's like it's like a braggadocio slash like a party song. That's what I got from that. Track next song is Wild and Crazy. Yes, another slept on song off this whole album. Um that song right there is just a lot of quotables in that song. And what I got from that is like he just like whack MCs and stuff. Elective Surgery is the next song. That's basically like a skit. Um Next song is Half Shark, Alligator, Half Man. Um, another weird song as he takes on the personality of this guy named Mr. Jerbic. And Mr. Jerbic is like this 200-year-old uncle of Dr. Octagon. And he's basically this half half shark, alligator, half man. And hmm, yeah. Like it's like very like discreet and stuff like that. Like he has lyrics like this. Look, my vomit flunkicates covers your skull like protopolism. Lightning bugs turn pink on my tongue catches spasms. Green elephants I battle sheets with a zebra. My my mechanism is more than Dion's psychic voodoo. Because I always felt like that line was kind of funny because like if you guys don't know, back in like I think like the '90s, um, Dionne Warwick, very dope singer, but she was actually a host of this like Psychic Friends network and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of thought that line was funny. It kind of reminds me of like that line kind of reminds me of this Paul Mooney stand up thing. It's a stand up sketch where he was talking about Latoya Jackson and he was like he was talking about the abuse Latoya was facing. He's like maybe she should have talked to her friend Dion. You know what I'm saying? She would have told her, "Oh, the ass woman was coming. You should have stayed away." Yes, it just kind of reminded me of that shit. You know. Um. Then we had what's the next song? What's the next song? Blue Flowers Revisited. Coincidentally, the original Blue Flowers is playing in the background right now. So Blue Flowers Revisited and stuff like that is basically what I consider the sequel to Blue Flowers. Um, I feel like this beat is way better than the original. That's not discrediting the original whatsoever. Very very good song right there. Next song, Waiting List, the DJ Shadow slash Automator mix, self-explanatory. Um, yeah, self-explanatory and stuff like that. Just they're talking about how patient would wait on him. And the last song off the album is 1977, where it's kind of like old school hip hop kind of track with the beat. The beat is like a very dope with old school hip hop, and it kind of sounds like a live recording and stuff like that. So that's all the songs of this album. My opinion, his best album in my opinion. Um, this album, nothing was like this album in 1996. Like this album was just so psychedelic, so trippy, dark, experimental, abstract, very weird album. An album like not a lot of people will get into this album. You had to take a few listens to really listen to it. My only complaint about the album is like I kind of felt like the themes of the song was kind of a bit redundant and stuff like that. But it's still a concept record. But I would still let that slide though. But in case like somebody's listening for the first time, you know, it'll be like, is this all he talks about and shit like that? But it's Cool Keith, so. And this album was very groundbreaking for its time too because it didn't really get like a lot of mainstream attention, but it sold a good amount. I think sold about 200,000 copies. I have to cheat a little bit. So I'm getting over a little cold I have. It yeah, sold 200,000 copies without no major promotion from like major labels and stuff like that. And this album kind of like broke the doors for a lot of abstract rappers and stuff like that. Like, if you see what Kid Cudi is doing now, you have to trace it all the way back to Cool Key. And I know a lot of people saying that, oh, Lil B, he's doing this shit, like this shit's original. Man, fuck that shit, man. This nigga was doing this shit like 20 years before half these rappers you know now. And he does not get the credit he deserves. Like, literally, the dude does not get the credit he deserves. Like, yeah. So, he actually reused the Dr. Octagon character a couple of times and stuff like that. And he came, um, there was a sequel that came out in 2006 called The Return of The Return of Dr. Octagon. But according to Cool Keith, he said that he was not they were not authorized to use it. That album was not meant to be released and stuff like that. So yeah, I have not heard the album. I heard some mixed feelings about the album and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, and Cool Keith definitely one of my favorite MCs. Slept on MC in general. Yeah, I need to get more of his albums too. And that's all the time I have for this album. Stay tuned for more stuff. Oh, one more thing. I'm gonna start doing this one thing when I'm talking about albums to check out. Start doing like once in a while. And I want y'all to check out two dope albums. One of them is Alicia Keys' Here album. You guys should know who Alicia Keys is. And she came out with Here, I think about a couple weeks ago. This album is a dope mixture of 90s boom bap and soul. Like her classic sound. I kid you not. Like you have to listen to the song in general. Next album is Childish Gambino's "Awaken My Love." Oh my god, this album! I've not heard like it's like psychedelic funk. So it's not even a hip hop album. It's a psychedelic, funky, soulful joint. So yeah. Oh, and congratulations to Childish for Atlanta getting renewed for a second season. If you guys have not seen Atlanta, check that show out. Very funny, satirical, and all that stuff. You won't regret it, and I can't wait for that second season. So this is Dr. Octagon, Dr. Octagon, this Dr. Octagon Owl. I can't never pronounce that shit. 1996. Must have in your collection. Stay tuned for more stuff. Peace. Whatever.